Once you decided that you want to pursue law as a career path, then the next big question that comes in is, how do you go about choosing a law college? How do you go about choosing this, 3-year versus 5-year kind of a thing? How do you go about choosing a specialization? A lot of students believe in the ranking system and then try to choose the law colleges. But that is not necessarily true, because some of the best law colleges don't even go for ranking purposes. And then the 3-year versus 5-year, where you should do it after the graduation or before the graduation. Is it after class 12, the 5-year program, or LLB program after your graduation? And then the big question comes in of how do you go about choosing a specialization? These are very, very important questions that you need to understand, and you need to be very clear about your career path. And that is what we are going to choose, or rather cover in this particular video, so that the experts guide you in terms of how to go about choosing a law college, how to go about deciding whether you should do it after the graduation or before the graduation, or what actually has a great career path for yourself.
So one of the biggest questions that the law aspirants ask is that should I go for a 5-year LLB or should I pursue a 3-year LLB? So let me break this down as the simplest answer possible. The 5-year integrated LLB program, that is BA LLB, BBA LLB, BCom LLB or BSc LLB, you have so many options here, that is designed for students just after their class 12th. So you enter as a 17-18-year-old student and you have ample amount of time to do the right internships, to build your networks, to do moot courts and so on. So here you get an undergraduate degree and a law degree both. The advantage is that you have enough time to consciously make your career in law. You also have enough time to decide what do you want to do after your law degree. And when placements happen after your 5 years, of course, you are going to compete with all the fresh law graduates. Now the 3-year LLB is for those students who already have a bachelor's degree. So they have already done their undergraduate degree, say in BCom, BBA, BTech or whatever you're interested in. And then you decide that you want to pursue law degree. So you enroll yourself into a 3-year LLB course and you become a lawyer. So you spend your 3, 4, 5 years doing something else and then you decide that you want to pursue law. So the advantage here is that you already have a domain expertise and you can club that with law to excel in your career further. For example, if you have already done your BTech, you can combine it with LLB and you can become a patent engineer. Now, it is also seen in so many cases that professionals in their 40 to 50 years of age, they decide that they want to pursue law, they want to go for an LLB degree, and then they do that and then they start practicing in the courts. So LLB 3-year gives you a flexibility of doing it at any point in your career. So which one's better? Honestly, both. It's up to you. If you have decided after your class 12 that you want to pursue law, so you can do a 5-year degree and you can build your career consciously. But if you have not decided yet and you've already gone for any undergraduate degree, you can do LLB 3-year later. Simple as that. Now within the 5-year integrated LLB, you have so many options like BBA LLB, BA LLB, BSc LLB, BCom LLB. Let's throw some light on what are these and how can we make a conscious choice. First, the most important thing here to understand is that in all of these degrees, you will be taught the core subjects of law. Constitutional law, criminal law, contracts law, IPC, CPC, etc. So you will become a lawyer in all of these courses. The difference is the undergraduate concept, the core subjects of an undergraduate degree. For example, if you go for a BA LLB degree, you will be taught sociology, psychology, liberal arts, etc. If you go for a BCom LLB degree, you will be taught commerce subjects, for example, accounts, economics, etc. If you go for a BBA LLB, you will be taught management subjects, for example, marketing, finance, human resources, etc. And in BSc LLB, which is one of the rarest options and not so many colleges offer this degree, you will be taught the science subjects. So if you want to go into patent law, pharmaceuticals law, you can take up BSc LLB. So it is more of a choice, but it does not have that much of an impact after you become a lawyer. Now the undergraduate component matters in some cases. For example, if you want to become a patent lawyer, you have to have a degree in BSc or BTech. But if you have not decided yet, you can pursue any of these degrees and you can consider your interest if you want to study economics, if you want to study business, if you want to study commerce or arts, and accordingly you can make your choice. But here's the truth, that your law school matters more than your undergraduate component. What you do, how you utilize your law schools, that's the thing that matters. The kind of internships that you do, the kind of connections that you build, the kind of MUNs and kind of debates that you do, how you expose yourself in a law school, that matters more as to how your legal career is going to be. So focus on getting the best college. utilize the most out of your undergraduate degree, utilize the most out of your law school years, and the rest will follow.
What is the difference between, there are multiple examinations for law you have CLAT, ILET and many other international exams including LNAT and all. What is the difference between each of these examinations, and can a student prepare for one examination and still appear for the other examinations? Because obviously they can't prepare for each examination on its own merit, right?
I think if students are preparing for CLAT exam, mostly they are covering all law entrance exams in the country, because by and large every other law entrance exam follows the same pattern or a similar pattern. At Jindal we accept LNAT UK test, so that is a different exam and that requires a different orientation and preparation. That means you have to be more working on your language and reading comprehension skills, as well as the skills to interpret and analytically find the correct answer. So it's a different exam that way. At the same time, CLAT also has a component of logical reasoning. It also has a component of reading comprehension. So if someone is preparing for CLAT, ILET and other exams, along with that they can prepare for LNAT UK test as well.
What should students and parents look at in a law college before they make the choice of joining that particular law college?
So I believe we should, as a student or parent, one should look at the faculty, the people who are teaching in the classrooms, and law schools which are posting information about faculty, their publications and everything. That should be the first criteria. The second criteria, I believe a fully residential campus should always be preferred over a day boarding colleges or colleges which are not having a fully residential program, because this residential character of university or law school makes a lot of difference. And I strongly believe premier higher educational institutions in any field, be it the IITs, be it the AIMS or be it the, say, National Law School Bangalore, they are all fully 100% residential. As per my knowledge, I can say the National Law School in Bangalore is one classic law school which I mean most of the law aspirants aim for. And I believe law schools which are having a strong career services department, if you are looking for jobs, if you are looking for say a law firm placement or a corporate placement after your law school, you should look for law schools having a strong career development and placement divisions, or what we call Office of Career Services.
Should students choose legacy and the past performance? Because some law colleges have been there for 50s of years, 10s of years and so on and so forth. And some are very, very new law colleges which are doing extremely, extremely well. So how does a student make a choice between legacy of an institution versus new law colleges which are doing extremely well? How do they make that choice? Which is the question that we ask the expert.
Unfortunately, I don't find many other law schools which matched up to what the National Law School provided. And in today's time, I think more than any tag of a government university or a public institution and private institution, we should, or legacy institutions, we should rather look at the present status of an academic institution, how the institution is actually performing as of now, when I am seeking admission and when I am going to graduate, say in 26 I am taking admission and 31 I am graduating, how in 2031 a particular institution will be placed. So that should be the target. And certainly the law schools which have been created after 2010 or 2015, those who are, and many of them which are quite new, which are set up in last 5 years, I don't think students are preferring them over the established institutions.
As you got it from the experts, India needs not more lawyers, but better lawyers. And that is very important for you to understand. Choosing the right college can actually change your trajectory dramatically. And that is very important for you to understand, because if the law college doesn't have moot courts, internships, capstone projects, right placements, right guidance at every single point in time, then you might actually come out with a law degree, but it will not make you succeed in your career path. And that is what we try to explain in this particular video. I hope you like this, and please watch the next series also that we're coming up with, so that you exactly know how you must go about when you want to choose law as a career path?